Get started this evening. I want to thank everybody for coming out to a November board meeting. We'll start with Mr. Jones, if he will do the Pledge of Allegiance.
Everybody stand. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Mr. Conway, would you mind to read the mission statement, please?
The mission of Clay County Schools is to build high-quality learning environments that ensure all students learn at high levels.
Thank you. The only announcement we have is our next regular meeting will be December the 15th. It's hard to believe we're wrapping up the first semester and the end of another year. So.
And that's moved up because of Christmas break.
Right. Yeah. But like Ms. Guthrie said, that is earlier because of Christmas break, so it's not the fourth Monday as usual. So I'll entertain a motion that we approve the agenda as it was emailed and presented to you.
I'll make a motion to ship.
Mr. Jones seconds. All in favor? Thank you. And Angel, no public comment, right? So we'll start with our recognition section. Ms. Godfrey.
Miss Clemens, I think I saw you somewhere. Miss White, can you come up? And Mr. Overland, come up too. I'm super excited to present to you our teachers throughout the district that earned an exceeded growth status in EVOS. This is really difficult to do, and you normally might have one or two teachers who accomplish this because it really just means that our kids have grown above and beyond what is expected. And we have 10 in our district, which is incredible. Really excited to share and congratulate these individuals that are able to be with us today. So we will start with primary school. You'll come up and help me, Miss Glenda. We've got Miss Pam Shepard. Come on up. Miss Christy Kennedy. And Miss Louise Smith. You gotta stay here. Oh yeah. Congratulations. If y'all just want to hang tight there, we'll get everybody up there all at one time. And from the middle school, we've got Miss Jessica McClure. And Miss Kristen Taylor. Can you give us an update on the ballgame?
We're losing by 2.
Okay. All right, and from the high school, if I can have Mr. Overland help us out with these. We've got Colby White, come on up. Michelle Reinhardt. We have Zach Moss. Silas Brown. And Miss Christy Caruso. Congratulations to all of you. We know this is no easy feat, and we're super proud of you and your students and what you accomplished last school year. Congratulations. Oh no, it's okay. Go ahead.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Congratulations. Good job. Good job.
Congratulations.
I promised Kristen I would put them first so she could get back to the ball game. It's also my honor and privilege privilege tonight to recognize some of our most faithful substitutes. And last year we had recognized all the substitutes who subbed 50 or more days during the school year. And so we wanted to do the same again this year. So these ladies are have all subbed 50 or more days during the 24-25 school year. We'll start with Pam Arrowood. Well, Pam is here tonight. Anyway, yes, Miss Brenda Rogers. Both Pam and Brenda both subbed 55 days last school year. We've got Miss Carla Knuckles. Come on. Carla subbed 58 days last school year. We have Miss Sarah Snowden. Sarah subbed 60 days last school year. We've got Miss Judy Bourne. Judy subbed 65 days last year. Thank you. We've got Miss Kazmarak, who subbed 89 days last school year. And now she's employed at HHS. And last but not least, Miss Teresa Ash subbed 90 days last school year. Very, very thankful for these ladies and what they do for our district. No. Nice try.
Carla, get over there. Slide over and get the movie.
Front and center, ladies. Front and center.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you, ladies.
Did you say Kat was 85? I mixed up.
Let me just give you the list.
Thank you.
Come on up, Chris.
Thank you.
My last recognition for this evening is to recognize Mr. Chris Lang. Chris fills multiple roles in our district. He is one of our maintenance crew and also a bus driver. And on any given day can be found doing any sort of things. I saw him today blowing leaves and tackling that, but there's no end to what our guys do and take care of, and we appreciate that. But I get to honor Chris today specifically for taking on a real need for our district, which was to have someone that is certified to do chemical pesticides. So we're required by the state to have someone that is certified, and you have to correct me on any of the words I use, but with chemical pesticides, and that can oversee the use of chemical pesticides. Previously, we had been operating under Silas Brown license, which was wonderful, but we know that Silas is typically involved with the students in the classroom and not able to directly oversee those procedures, and so we thought it would be best for someone on our maintenance crew to do that. And so Chris stepped up, and my husband actually did this many years ago, and it's no small feat. It's a week-long class, lots of studying, lots of bookwork, lots of very technical information, and it culminates with a test that you have to pass in order to become certified. And so, is there anything you'd like to share about your experience?
I just don't want to tell anybody because it was nerve-wracking, and then they make you wait 4 weeks before you get results.
Oh, wow.
So sweat it, yeah.
Now, did you get it in pesticide and herbicide?
Yes.
Okay.
So,
And that's the biggie there.
yeah, I'm totally certified and licensed for the school. We are set to go with that.
Well, and I know we appreciate you doing that. I know it was not an easy thing to do. And so we just want to recognize him for taking that on, and not only taking it on, but being proficient in passing that and serving our district with it. So.
Thank you. Or you stay in front and center.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Thank you, Chris.
Next, we have our report section, and we'll start with Hazel Middle School and the school improvement plan.
Ms. Wayman could not be here due to a grad school obligation, but I'm happy to be here with Ms. Emily Mull, who serves as our school improvement team chair. And she is going to start off telling you about the 3 goals that we selected.
So we have 3 goals, and it looks like these are 3, but these are our academic goals, and we have them separated by their subject areas for the 3 EOGs that are tested in the middle school. So the first is in math. We're going to increase our overall math proficiency on EOGs by 5%. 8th grade science, we'd also like to do that by 5%. And for our reading goal, we also want to do that by 5%. So we increased it quite a bit last year, and so we thought we'd just keep on going up from there.
Keep on going.
Keep on going. All right, and our other 2 ones, we have a positive family communication. HMS will ensure every student's family receives at least 1 positive communication from school faculty each academic quarter, so every 9 weeks. Somebody in the faculty will reach out to them. Global competencies. We are in the middle school implementing our global competencies and going through that training. So we wanted to incorporate that into our classroom. And Ms. White is going to tell you how we plan to implement those.
Okay, so I'm going to circle back and start off with academics, because raising proficiency by 5% across the board is a pretty lofty goal, but we've been hard at work to make that happen. The first thing to get started there is just making sure that we have the data to really show us an accurate picture of where our students are. Specifically, we want to look at our subgroup students with disabilities, because the last couple of years we have had the DPI TSI, which is targeted school intervention status. We have shown a lot of growth with our students with disabilities, but we would still like our proficiency with that subgroup to be a bit higher. And so having accurate assessment data through IXL and NC check-ins is a crucial piece of that. And what that assessment data allows us to do is then implement not just any old intervention, but what students really need at the Tier 2 and Tier 3 levels of the MTSS process, and differentiating within the regular classroom. And then one other resource that we are thrilled to be able to utilize again this school year is the Hive Help After School Learning Lab. That is a place that students can go not only to get tutoring, but also to have access to internet and any other thing that may be a barrier for them being able to do their homework. So we're thrilled to partner with Gear Up to make that happen again this school year. In terms of positive family communication, school culture does a really good job of lending itself to our academic goals. And part of having a good school culture is positive communication with families. And so what we have done to ensure that this happens is not only set the goal of having each student receive a positive contact home each quarter, but to make sure that we are really tracking and keeping up with that data. We have a school-wide spreadsheet that we are able to monitor and see, if the student hasn't had a contact home this quarter. And we're making sure that we utilize a lot of different communication methods to do that, whether it's picking up the phone and calling, utilizing Remind, or even those organic conversations that happen out in the community, because it's going to take multiple communication methods to reach all families. And then lastly, we are partnering with Participate Learning this year. A lot of the work with global competencies within this program really beautifully aligns with some of the other work that we are already doing. It aligns really well with the Golden Leaf Competency-Based Education grant that we were very fortunate to receive, and it also aligns heavily with North Carolina's Portrait of a Graduate initiative. Anytime that you can develop characteristics in students like empathy, critical thinking, and the other global competencies, that's going to translate not only to more academic success, but also more success in the workforce, after high school. So we're thrilled to be able to partner with them. To date, all of our faculty members, not just teachers, but everybody, have completed 3 global competency and global leadership courses. Our global committee has committed even more than that, and everyone will do at least 4 courses in the spring. And actually, this is a super fun update to get to share. Because of this work, we were recently awarded a global career development award from Participate Learning. We were one of a few schools to receive that, so that was a really exciting update and definitely really motivating to continue this work. And that is what we have. Do you all have any questions?
Short, sweet, to the point.
Any questions or comments? Very good.
Thank you.
Thank you, ladies.
I'll switch you for Abby. Okay, Mr. Overland wanted to put glitter on every slide, and I told him no, all that's too much. So, you know, we taper that off a little bit as we go along. I am fortunate to serve as the School Improvement Team Chair at the high school, and I'm here with our process manager, Ms. Pullum, and so she's going to kind of cover the goals and indicators, and then I'll talk about the action steps for each goal.
Okay, so the first goal that we came up with was we felt like there needed to be a focus on both achievement and growth, not one or the other. And so these numbers come from our school report card for our EOC tested subject areas. So we want to take the growth and the achievement by 2%. So 69.8 to 71.8, and then the achievement, we want it to be 75. And then the growth we want it to be 75.6. The indicator that goes with that is B303, and that's just the principal is going to monitor walkthroughs, make sure everybody's doing their targeted instruction with standards, and make sure everybody is on track to make sure we achieve that.
And then the action steps that we're going to take to make sure that happens, really, formal observations are great, but classroom walkthroughs is where you really get a lot of improvement with instruction. And thankfully, Cognio, which is the organization that we get our accreditation status from, they actually already have a really good walkthrough tool, so we don't have to reinvent the wheel. And so each licensed teacher will be getting 2 walkthroughs this school year, at least 2 walkthroughs this school year, either in their regular classroom instruction or during WIN time. Something new that we are going to be doing this school year is conducting check-in data conversations with our EOC teachers, because data analysis is a skill, and so that's something that hopefully with multiple minds at the table we can really comb through and look at trends and look at opportunities for improvement there. And then our counselor has been and will continue to regularly monitor student success in classes and try to catch those students that are off track and help them get back on track before they fail a course and lose that credit, which, you know, obviously will translate pretty directly to our school achievement and growth.
Our next goal is going to tie in with attendance, which is going to align with part of our MTSS, and that we want the high school to achieve an average monthly attendance rate of 91%, which I will say we are doing a great job right now. High school is really killing it. The school implements, the indicator A401 is going to be that the school implements a tiered instructional system, which is our MTSS system that notifies parents through their absences, and evidence-based instruction across all tiers.
So our data manager, Ms. Sarah King, is wonderful about conducting monthly attendance checks for us, and we publish that for students to see in the office and the commons. They can see which grade level has, you know, had the best attendance for the month, and you know, it can sometimes be a struggle with seniors who are just really ready to graduate, but for a lot of this semester, the seniors have led the way with attendance, which has been super cool to see. We are also going to continue to engage in the early intervention team or EIT process to identify chronically absent students and then connect them with community resources that can figure out what their barriers are to attending school, because you can't learn if you're not here. And then something new that we've done this year that has been super fun is that we have been recognizing students with no unexcused absences or early dismissals within increments of 50 days. So we got to do that for the first time a couple weeks ago. Miss Aubrey Clapsaddle led that up, and for the first 50 days of school, we had 25 kids who qualified for that, which was just really exciting. And we also got their feedback about what they would like to see for the next next 50-day increment, which was pizza and music. that was their two big asks. But if that's all it takes to get kids to school, we are absolutely on board with that.
The last goal that we chose was to continue the parent nights. But our goal is specific in that we want at least 100 participants and parents to attend a parent night. With this regular communication with our parents, this exposes them to the expectations of the school and the home, the bridge between school and home, the curriculum, how they can help their child be successful at home, the upcoming year, what that looks like, year at a glance. We've already had our senior year. We've had 2 senior nights this year, and those have been successful. And we're looking forward to the others in the spring.
And to be able to meet this goal of getting at least 100 families through our door at some point this school year, we are going to host at least 3 to 4 parent nights throughout the school year and offer a perception survey for feedback to make these events even better. We are well on our way to doing that. We will also publish a monthly newsletter just to be one more access piece that parents have to school communication. And then something else that Cognia, the accreditation organization, offers as well is parent surveys. We missed out on doing the beginning of year 1, but we will definitely get the mid-year and end-of-year perception surveys out to families just to see ways that we can improve our communication and parent and family engagement, because that's one piece that, while it may be hard to measure, is something that will truly, push schools forward. What questions do we have that we can answer?
Questions or comments?
Just a comment, Dr. Shook. I'm just pleased with the communication and engagement with the families for both the middle and the high school. I think that's it can only be positive in my opinion.
Yeah.
Absolutely, it's important for sure.
In addition to your monthly newsletter, I also know that Mary Cochran is also sending out a counselor newsletter, which was something new, and I thought was very helpful to read.
For sure.
Yeah.
Scholarship deadlines definitely sneak up.
Very
on
important,
You, so
yeah.
I could have used that when I was a senior for sure.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Next, we have the K-9 MOU review and discussion with Stephen Smith.
Good evening, everybody. Those that don't know me, I'm Stephen Smith. I'm a detective here at the Sheriff's Office. I've been blessed enough to be appointed by the Sheriff to run our K-9 program for the Sheriff's Office. I've been very fortunate with that task. I've personally ran a dog here in Clay County for 7 years now. We've been working to expand our K-9 program pretty aggressively. This year, we actually work with a nonprofit organization that you guys probably seen the signs for out in the community, the Clay County K-9 Initiative. They aid us in supplementing the funds to be able to expand our program. So what they've done this year is they've actually worked to raise money for us to purchase another dog for this year, which I have found a dog that I'm in the process of testing that dog to see if it's going to be a good fit for what we're looking for. My goal is to get you guys on board and to understand my perspective of why I feel like this is a necessity. I truly feel that our schools, our community, our students, our parents will greatly benefit from what I've got in mind here by implementing a dog in our school system. My plan with this is not to go out and catch a bunch of kids doing stuff they ought not be doing. My goal with this is just as much of a deterrent. Down the road, these kids might look at this and say, "Oh, well, maybe I ought not bring that to school." You got to think these. There's things that's getting to be more and more available for students to get their hands on inside of homes. That's one thing that we really can't do is we can't control what happens in these kids' homes. We try to help. We try to step in where we need to. But things get by us all the time, and something as simple as somebody going to one of these vape stores in town and buying a vape, taking it home and smoking on that thing for a couple of weeks and just pitching it in the garbage can, not thinking nothing of it. Well, here comes little Johnny walking by the trash can. Oh, is that vape? You grab a hold of that. See if it's still got a little bit left in it. Go puffing on it. Who knows? Let me tell you right now, you can pop the top off of them things, you can lace them whatever you want to. You can put anything you want to in there. Fentanyl, it dissolves pretty easy. You can put that in there. I've seen vapes with fentanyl in them. That is a thing. THC vapes, I mean, they're running wild, and even down to a nicotine vape. I mean, still, we don't want kids to get a hold of that stuff. I mean, kids don't need to be addicted to nicotine at 12, 13 years old, but that's something that happens. One thing that I do at the sheriff's office is I do all of our digital forensics. So anytime that we collect a cell phone from somebody, or if I'm working a case, or any of us are working a case that involves having to collect a cell phone for analysis, I'm the one that does all that stuff. So I'm the one that goes through this stuff and I see it firsthand. I see communications from these kids, high school students, middle school students, talking about having vapes, having, buying marijuana, doing this, doing that stuff at school. I mean, it's something that, again, we try to get on top of it, and we try to minimize it, we try to eliminate it, but it's something that, in my opinion, is just not able to be eliminated. So my goal with doing this is to implement this dog into the school system that's going to be trained on all narcotic odors, including marijuana, meth, cocaine, marijuana, meth, cocaine, heroin, fentanyl, as well as nicotine. So my plan with this is to actually have the dog to where it will learn on absolutely a pack of cigarettes, or a vape, or just anything that they shouldn't have. So in this MOU that I prepared, working with Ms. Godfrey here, we've kind of went back and forth with a little bit. I'm by no means some fantastic, author or nothing like that, but what I did was I took some things from here and took some things from there and put this together, different sample MOUs from around the state. It's obviously nothing that we have right now, but it's something that, that I look forward to trying to implement. So this basically, what this does is this outlines our, our basic plan for how we would like to operate this. Beginning on the first page, just giving you a basic rundown on this. It's basically saying that we're looking for a canine detection dog that's going to sniff objects in spaces. Now going back, also I want to hit on this. In times past, we've used contract companies to come up and run dogs to our school system here. That's a complete waste of money whenever we have that resource here in our county available. And there have been a few times where, at request, I've brought my dog here and I've ran through the school, and we have found some things that were questionable. It's led to investigations and things of something need to be looked into. So having that dog here and following this MOU is going to be greatly beneficial by going through here. And basically, I've outlined in this, prior to search, something as simple, just any kind of a notification can be made. Something as simple as what I put in here, which obviously can be changed. But just a simple annual notification letter sent out at the beginning of the school year to the parents. Hey, just so you know, we have a dog that's going to be in our school system, and periodically maybe ran through a classroom or whatever. Just a brief notification, something that this is going to be happening. So that would cover that on legal grounds and give us the authorization to do that. So going through the classroom search procedures, basically I just put in there pretty much what we already do. So on the occasions that I've been asked to bring my dog up here and run through the school, we typically go through and we pick out a few classrooms, or we pick out a parking lot, and if it's a classroom, if it's an occupied classroom, we'll go in, we'll ask the students to go out in the hallway. That way there's no chance of any kind of an accidental anything. Completely eliminating the risk of having someone bid or something like that. But I'll touch on that too in a minute. So by doing this, that allows two things. It allows the students to be separated from from their environment. Whenever I bring the dog in, there's no distractions. There's no dangers there. So basically, as this dog's running through, yes, it's going to be an issue as far as like if a kid lives in a house where their parents are chain smoking cigarettes, things like that, and that nicotine odor is going to be on that, going to be on a backpack, for example. Well, that's why we have, like my dog, for example, that's not trained on nicotine. So if we do have something, if we have some strong indications showing on something that, you know, is an alert behavior on a backpack or something like that may be found in a classroom, that it's as simple as me bringing in one of my dogs, my dog or our other patrol dog, just to do a backup and run around that to see if it's something other than nicotine. Either way, nicotine, you're not supposed to have that in the school system. So regardless, you know, if they have a vape or something like that in there, again, this isn't to go out and catch a bunch of kids doing things wrong. This is simply, you know, the first probably few months, yeah, you're gonna have things getting found. As far as I'm concerned, as far as the sheriff's office goes, we plan to leave all disciplinary action to the school system. Our job is to find it, present it. Obviously, if it's, you know, something serious, like a serious controlled substance or whatever, then, you know, we'll take appropriate measures. But as far as any disciplinary action or disciplinary responsibility, that'll fall on the school, according to this procedure that I've got laid out. Locker and vehicle search procedures, if we go down through that section right there, it's going to show basically what we do. And I don't have, in my copy, I don't have the actual school policies incorporated in this one that Ms. Godfrey has, and I think she's presented to the office. So I've left space to have the appropriate policies added into this. That way it will conform to what Clay County Schools already has.
Their copy has them listed.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
So just by, you know, outlining these policies in the specific places where they go, just being able to go through and run through these, you know, the vehicles. Any vehicle that's parked in a public place, be it essentially if it's not parked at your house and it's parked out in the parking lot, or if it's at a gas station, or if it's at Eagles or whatever, that's in a public place. The vehicle itself cannot be, the threshold of that vehicle can't be broken without having probable cause for that. The air around that vehicle is not contained under the expectation of privacy. Therefore, that's what gives law enforcement the authorization to conduct a open air sniff around the exterior of the vehicle. So the air outside the vehicle where an odor might be eliminated or emitting out into, that's free air. So, you know, there's no expectation of privacy there. So that will apply, you know, when it goes into like the vehicle procedures. Whenever you go out and you're around the parking lot and say we get an indication on the vehicle, then that will give the school authorization to dig further into that situation. So lockers is another thing. I know that, you know, kids are provided the lockers, some use them, some don't. Just one thing to hit on with that, as we go through our training, we train to a national certification standard, and with that, we actually include lockers in our certification. So we certify through NAPWA, North American Police Work Dog Association, and with that, we run our dogs on lockers for certification purposes, just to make sure that they can distinguish, is an odor coming from the top locker or bottom locker, is it over here, is it under them, or whatever. So, you know, we basically integrate that into our training routine as well. Going into the school bus procedures, the school administrator randomly select up to 4 school buses. So basically just go through, whenever this comes to be a thing, if we're asked to run our dogs through a school bus, we just go out, we can do a quick exterior sniff around the school bus, and we can take the dog, run them inside the school bus, just to see if there's anything there. Moving on to outdoor school property, such as like the ball fields over here next to the bathrooms or anything like that, places where kids may go and get into things that they shouldn't be getting into. Further searches based on reasonable suspicion. So when a canine dog alerts to this is an important section. When a canine dog alerts to the personal belongings, locker, victim, or student, this alert provides school administrators with reasonable suspicion to justify further search. So based off of, just like for us out on the roadside, if a dog indicates on the vehicle, that gives us probable cause to search that vehicle. So within the school grounds, if a dog indicates on a vehicle, a backpack, or whatever, that's going to give the school administrators the justification to actually dig into that further and see what may be in that backpack or what may be in that jacket pocket or whatever the case may be. So that's a very important section out there. Moving on after the search, I put in here, when a search conducted by or during the school day has concluded, the principal or designee will make an announcement that the canine exercise has been completed. Again, this is fluid. This can be changed to whatever we need to conform to what you all see fit. instruct students and staff to resume normal operations. Again, whenever we pull students out of the classroom and we're running through a classroom real quick, their education resumes just as soon as we finish it. It usually takes about 2 or 3 minutes per classroom at max. So it's very minimal interruption in any classroom proceedings. So Clay County School Central administrative staff and Clay County Sheriff's Office will each report the details of the canine exercise. The way that we do ours is we have a software system that we pay for annually for each dog. And that basically tracks our training and our deployment records. So anytime we do a deployment at the school system, we notate that and do a special form for that. If there's anything found, anything that raises to the level of concern that, where we would need to get like possible DSS involvement or something like that, then obviously that's something that we would address at that time. Other uses of canine detection dogs, any use of canine dogs not described in these procedures must be authorized in advance by the superintendent, following a consultation with legal counsel unless the search is initiated and conducted solely by law enforcement officers pursuant to their lawful independent authority. The only time that would come into effect is like if we say we're working a narcotics operation or something like that, and we have a family that let's just say for example we know that dad's putting drugs in this vehicle, kids driving to school, somebody's coming through in the middle of the day picking that up out of the vehicle. That's the only time that something like that would come into play. Very rare situation, but it's always a possibility. You never know what minds of people that operate on that wavelength can come up with. But one thing that I want to touch on with this was as far as the dog that we're looking for. My dog that I use on patrol, he's a Belgian Malinois, so he's a pretty high-speed dog. And with those kind of dogs comes your typical aggression. He's trained, he's an apprehension dog. He's trained to bite somebody. So that's built into his training program. That aggression is part of what we strive for to have with him. So with this, we're looking at a totally different direction. We're going with like a lab, something that's going to be a very well-tempered dog, something that's not near as high-strung or no signs of aggression. Part of our testing procedures, we test for their aggression. We test for their civil drive, their social drive, to see how they're going to do around people, how they're going to do around other animals, how they're going to do around any situation. Like if they're, do they get stressed out whenever they're around a bunch of people? So we test for all that stuff before this is even a thing. We're going to make sure that the dog that we select is a good fit for what we're trying to do with it. This is not going to be just in my opinion, this is not going to be just a dog to bring to the school every day to have around here just to walk around and find drugs. This is, something like the kids can walk through school and say, this dog, this is our dog. This is something that kids love dogs. Kids love dogs. And anytime that you have an opportunity to bring something like that in, it may change some kids' life. It may make them, respect law enforcement more. It may make them, not grow up to learn to hate, law enforcement like it's something that seems to be more and more common these days, or it'll show a different side of things. And again, this isn't to go out and catch a bunch of kids doing things wrong. This is something that hopefully, in my vision, will deter a lot of kids and help them make a better decision instead of picking that paper out of the trash can, bringing it to school and passing it around to whoever. So that's my goal with this.
Very good, thank you. Any questions or comments? I know we've had this for a month or so, roughly a month.
Just a comment that middle and high school, and I believe you indicated this, but unless it's a very unique situation, the dog wouldn't necessarily be here without the prior approval.
So my understanding is that Shane Mole would be the handler. So Shane is currently assigned to the primary school. So the dog would be present with Shane when he's working. My understanding from Stephen, you correct me, the dogs, depending on what leash or harness they have on, they know whether they're working or not. And so, whether they're sniffing out drugs or just being there as a support for students. So that's my understanding of how.
Yeah, for an example, my dog is trained, like if he's wearing a harness, a full harness, he knows that he's trapped. So whenever he gets out of the vehicle, he puts his nose to the ground and he starts tracking. If he comes out of the vehicle and he's wearing a flat collar and a pinch collar, he knows that he's doing drugs and he's looking for drugs. So it's part of our training process. I mean, it's down to, even if he comes out of the driver's side rear door of my vehicle, he knows he's doing drug work. Whereas if he comes out the passenger side rear door that opens automatically, he knows that he has to come find me immediately, and he knows that he's coming to buy something. So he's trained, and you got to think dogs are just as smart as we are. They just don't know how to communicate it the way that we do. So part of the training process is you build that into the dog. This dog will literally be a walk around and be your buddy dog until you tell it to find dope. And whenever you tell it to find dope, it's going to start sniffing. And it's as simple as turning it off and on like a switch.
Thank you.
Thank you, Steve. Appreciate your time.
So our next steps will be, our board attorney is reviewing this, and has not had a chance to get back to us just yet on this, and also having our principals and our district leadership team provide feedback and make sure it covers all aspects of what we hope to see in a canine program. So this is really the beginning of a conversation. What's our timeline for?
I'm looking at a dog right now. Honestly, my plan is to get the dog bought, start the bonding process, start basic odor imprinting, and then my goal is to be able to integrate the dog into the school beginning of next school year.
Okay.
I would like to have the whole summer break to use that to send Shane to a school, a handler's course. That way, whenever school comes back into session for 2026, it should be up and running for and certified.
We just want to make sure we've had enough time to really think this through and look at it from all angles, and make sure it's covered in policy before we get to that point. So we've got some time. So.
Very good. Thank you again.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Next, we have the consent agenda.
No, we don't.
Nope. Sorry.
Skip over
Kind
it.
of skipping you, cut you out this evening. The superintendent's report. Sorry
He's
about
trying
that.
to make this meeting shorter.
Sorry, guys.
I see you, Dr. Joe. I guess that's my cue to be quick, right? Okay. So just to tell you a little bit about what's going on with the construction progress. Honestly, every week it changes, and it is happening so fast. But for what's happened in November, all the second level floor slabs have been poured. They're currently working on the installation of the single ply roofing. So far, they have completed the roofing, the single ply roofing in the kitchen, the cafeteria, the auditorium, the dressing rooms, the set storage, the fire pump room, the music classroom, one of the stairwells, and the corridors. They've gotten a lot done.
Yeah.
Their goal is to have it in the dry by Christmas break. So they're working really hard at that. They're currently working on exterior and interior framing, working on the exterior armor wall sheathing installation. They have done the stair pans have been poured, and the handrails have been completed on all 3 stairwells. The plumbers continue with the installation of roof drains. The electricians have been running conduits in the auditorium, and that is near complete. If you go into the auditorium and look out, it is nothing but conduits. I mean, there's so many, I can't imagine how much work that was to get all those in there. And continued with hooking up roof leaders to storm drainage on the east side of the project. For the rest of November and December, they plan to continue with the installation of single ply roofing, continuing with the interior and exterior framing, continuing with the armor wall installation, continuing with electrical rough-in, and continuing with plumbing roof drains. So there's a lot happening over there. Every day it seems to take a new shape. So other things that are going on that have happened since our last meeting, we had our first session of the SEEDS program. This is a program specifically geared toward collaborating with our families that have a language barrier and helping their children be successful in school. And that was very well received, well attended. We had about 30 people present for that. Really great event that we had. There was an alumni basketball game last week called Hoops for Hope. That was well attended and a great event that supported not only my family, but Kelly's family as well. It was a very special event. We hosted a Veterans Day ceremony and breakfast, and the breakfast was held at the primary school and was just a very sweet event. We had 54 chairs set up for that event and had to bring in more. So we didn't have that many that actually attended the program at the football field. There were 2 military funerals that day, and so some of those that were involved in that had to leave after the breakfast, but it was a great event. We received a grant that will allow us to provide psychiatry services on our campus. Of course, this would be outside of the school environment, but the parents would come in and be able to have access to psychiatry services and med management through the school system. We're excited about that. You may have seen on Facebook about the Scholastic libraries that were donated. Those will be coming in between now and Christmas break for all of our classrooms, kindergarten through 8th grade. Very thankful to Scholastic for providing those for us. Our child nutrition program provided Thanksgiving meal last week. Jenny, did you tell me we served over 1,000 meals?
Close to 1,000.
Close to 1,000 meals. It was delicious and was a huge undertaking for that. They really did it well, and it was delicious. The career fair for middle and high school was held today over at the multi-purpose building, the athletic facility, and it was well attended. And when I stopped by there this morning, it looked like it was going very well. So many thanks to all those involved that put that together. Just a few school-specific things that have gone on. HPS hosted the Turkey Trot, which was kind of a fun seasonal event. They invited families to come. It was very well attended, great family involvement activity, and it encouraged fitness, which was really great as well. Several of the teachers from the primary school attended an MTSS training session last week with Stephanie Stoller. If you don't know her, she is considered a hero in the realm of literacy. And so it was really, there was a waiting list for that event. They had to move to a bigger facility, but we had several, probably 8 of our teachers that went to that. So AGS had 3 lunch and learn events last week. I got to go to the 3rd grade one. It was very well attended, lots and lots of positive feedback. The parents came in, they had lunch with their kids, and then they made ice cream, and so they did kind of the scientific process for making ice cream, and so that was really great. As for the middle school, they mentioned this in their school improvement plan, but I wanted to mention it as well. Hazel Middle School was recognized along with 2 other schools as the inaugural winners of the 2025 Global Leaders Career Development Award, which is presented by Participate Learning. This award honors schools that are intentionally connecting global learning with career readiness, helping students build the skills and mindsets to thrive in an ever-changing world. So kudos to the middle school for that award as well. As for the high school, they recently took the work keys assessment, and those scores are back, and our students did very, very well. I know Mr. Oberlin was very pleased with how those scores came back, and so super proud of our high school teachers and students for their success with that. So that is what I have for you.
Very good.
Any questions?
Thank you. Now we can do the consent agenda.
Yeah, now you can.
So we have the consent agenda there. You have the policies that are up for approval, and then there's the board meeting minutes from October 27th. Is there a motion that we?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Is there a second? Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. I guess a motion to go into closed session.
Make a motion with closed session.
Second. All in favor? Thank you.